was like these guys that were really successful. They would talk about when they weren't successful. They would talk about when they were poor. They would talk about when they were starting their company out, but it was always way after the fact.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't think I've ever read a book that somebody was writing it as they were going through shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This might be like a book that nobody else has done before.
Yeah, and people get to learn from that.
And that was the thing. And
it
it wasn't necessarily all of the steps that we took to get financially independent. It was, what am I feeling today?
Yeah.
What is going through my head when it was the first time getting on food stamps? I'm like, I'd never been on food stamps before. I'm like, what do I do with this thing? When I go to the store, I'm like, it's humbling. I'm like, hey, I have this EBT card. Like, how do I use this?
So does your book cover, like, you have all that documented in your book?
Yeah.
It goes from, step.
Because I started writing, I talked about when I was firefighting, I talked about, when I applied to be a cop, and then when I applied for the FBI, and then when I tried to work for Edward Jones, and then I building our merchant portfolio, getting into, the Medicare world. Like, I talk about all that. So I wrote it over the course of let's say 6 years.
Yeah.
And I just never thought, well, am I ever going to finish this? Am I ever going to get it done? Like, what am I going to do? Like, and I have to tie this up at some point.
Yeah.
So when I ended it, I hadn't actually quit my job yet.
Yeah.
But it was like, hey, our residual income is higher than our expenses. We basically have fuck you money at this point. We can say, hey, dude, I can walk away anytime I want to. And I hadn't yet, but.
Yeah.
And so I started writing another one, and that one's almost done.
Yeah.
But it was kind of picked up from where I'd left off. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, back to your question, it really was therapy. It was like, I have to get my thoughts down on paper. And I think for anybody that they're going through struggles, whatever it could be, relationships, could be drug addiction, drinking, whatever. It's almost like if you put your thoughts down on paper, it kind of gives you a sense of, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking.